Welcome to Project Eunice 2.0. This is the remodeling of a 1992 Class C camper. And I did a lot of work on the inside of this thing. I didn't have a whole lot of experience going into it, so I wanted to show and put some videos together to show some of the problems that we ran into and how we got around them. I want to give people an idea that if you are going to get into something like this, how much did it cost? And how many hours did we end up putting into it, and then get into how I actually managed a project like that. Even though it was a home project, it was pretty complicated. It's something that I've never done before, so I had to find a creative way to actually manage it. And I want to give an idea of some of the things we came up with in the remodel to make this thing look better. You may look at some stuff and say, hey, I really like that. You may look at stuff and say, I'm glad he did that because I'm not going to do it. That's pretty bad. So that's kind of the idea of these videos. Now, I didn't, at the time we were doing this, I didn't record anything other than just take a bunch of pictures, so everything is in PowerPoint. I apologize. I don't like PowerPoint, but I didn't really know how else to do this. So the name of the camper, we got this thing home. We named her Eunice. We bought this thing in 2002. We absolutely fell in love with it when we bought it. The 2.0 just comes from this was such a major undertaking. We said, hey, it's a whole revision, so we're going to call this project Eunice 2.0. It's just kind of a fun thing to do. I worked on this thing pretty much, actually, me and my old man worked on this thing in the winter 2018 to 2019. It was so much work. I live up in New England. Winters can be a little tough up here, but we were outside just about every weekend working on this thing. But it was just so worth it. And like I said, I bought this thing in 2002, so I've had this thing for about 18 years now. And just cutting to the chase, the before and after, I was really proud of the way this thing came out. I really didn't have a whole lot of experience going into this thing. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to run into. I really didn't even know what I was going to do to remodel it. I just knew that I had to get that done, and those are the things that I really wanted to share. So some of the bigger things that we did, these are the major items. The floor had a lot of water damage. That had to be replaced. The ceiling was just about caving in. The ceiling had to get fixed. The walls were in pretty rough shape. The shower was just plain ugly. The fridge didn't work. The countertops, they were just gross. The cab over was just completely rotted, and that was in really, really rough shape. So there's a pretty good video in there on how to get around and fix all that stuff. The dinettes were just ugly. I really wanted to put a sound system in. That was towards the end of the project. And I also did leather seats up front, so it made this camper a lot more drivable and a lot more fun to drive. So there was a lot of water damage in this thing, and I think that's kind of common in any camper that's old, especially up in the north where it's raining and you have weather changes and whatever. I did replace the roof in 2013, and I thought, it's really not bad on the inside. But over the years, what happened was the water damage became more and more apparent because you could see things in that picture on the right. That's the ceiling, and you could see that just things were cracked and broken, and it was just in such rough shape. But the water damage was getting so bad. Plus, it was just getting more and more uglier as time went on. So it was time to do a remodel on it. And the last slide that I want to show is, I've had this camper for a long time. I always stayed up on the maintenance on it. I was adamant about changing the oil and putting good tires on it, keeping the brakes up, and it always ran good. There's very, very little rust on this thing. So it was a really, really good candidate. If this thing was in rough shape, the motor didn't run right or needed a new transmission, I would have never done this. But the driving this camper, it just runs awesome. That guy on the right, that is me. I figured probably in these things you'll hear me narrating, but you just get an idea of what I look like. Yeah, I'm not impressed with that picture either of myself, but that is me posing. I think I got home from work one day and I just decided that it'd be a good time to pose with my camper. So I hope you enjoy the videos. I hope you get something out of it. Let me know what you think. If it's something I can help with, I'd love to. Thanks for watching.